Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about redoing a research paper topic. That's one that you've written a paper on prior, but now you're writing a new paper and you want to write it on sort of the same topic, but maybe with just a little bit of a new focus. And then how you would self cite yourself if you are using a portion of that paper in your new writing. So we are going to go through this slideshow and I'm going to talk to you about it. The first slide here is a quote. I think it's nice and it really matches this topic well. So pause if you want to look at the quote and unpause when you're done or just pass on by. Now I'm going to talk to you about the general idea of redoing a research paper topic, why you would want to do it, and the philosophies and the expectations. So the philosophies, we do each have passions and interests as human beings, and they do make us unique. And we become experts the more and more we research a topic. We become more and more expert on that knowledge. So that is a desire to really increase our mind. And so it makes sense that we would want to redo a research paper so that we can really learn more and more about topics that interest us. So teachers often do like to celebrate and nurture that in their students, but you need to communicate with your teacher to make sure that they know that you're planning to do this. And also, at this point in time, your teacher, if they say yes, they're placing their faith in you. And so you need to understand that and make sure that you understand maybe some unspoken expectations they have. So go ahead and pause this slide to comprehend and digest this information and then unpause to move on. Okay, here's the expectation slide. The teacher is not going to want you to have an introduction or a thesis statement with all of the subtopics that you've done before. You really need to be coming up with a new introduction with new focus points and a new thesis statement with new focus points. Maybe one of the subtopics from the former thesis statement is the whole of your paper, and so you're really going on a granular level into that topic and the exploration of that topic. But that's something your teacher does expect from you. They also expect that the body of the paper is not writing that you've already done. And so a maximum would be 5% of that. 95% of your paper really does need to be unique content that you're writing new right now. If you do use some of your writing from the past, you need to self cite so that you don't plagiarize yourself. That's going to be important. We want to make sure all of your sources are new and unique. You cannot just use all of the old sources. You want to find more up to date sources, and you want to find new sources that you're using that give new enlightenment to the that new focus that you're focusing on. And then the teacher also expects that they can upload it into a plagiarism tool such as Turnitin.com and find out that the plagiarism score is within normal. You want that too. You don't want to go through weeks or months of writing a paper, all of that hard work and expectation that you're getting a good grade, only to find out that your plagiarism score was high. And not only do you fail the project, but you're also in big trouble. So these are things that we expect you to be able to manage. So now that we know that you're smart and ethical, I need to talk to you a little bit more about self-citing, how to do it, and what people actually think about it. So, what do people think about self citation? This guy on the internet in a discussion board, he claims self citation is perfectly reasonable if used to make your article shorter, to avoid repeating what you already published. Otherwise, it tends to make you look pathetic and seriously damages the chances of your article receiving proper blind peer review. So, obviously, he's talking in the upper levels. He's talking about college. He's talking about if you're maybe getting your master's or doctorate and what the academic community thinks about this practice. And so I guess students at the higher levels also want to self cite because, again, it's their passion. Maybe they've researched their topic a little more and are delving further, but he really thinks it's a really poor idea to self cite. So this person at University of Botswana completely agrees with him, where this person does not agree. They say that it's not unethical and that you can use your work in the future. It's as simple as that. So we can see it's controversial in the research world. So, in addition to some seeing it as a self serving act, saying, oh, wow, my writing that I've done before is great. I'm the expert. I know all this stuff, and I'm going to just repeat what I've said before. Um, and I'm a great researcher and a great writer. That is how some might view it. Another might view it as displaying low intellectual flexibility. Wow, that person can't seem to be intelligent enough to come up with a new topic, or that person cannot come up with new ideas. So, low intellectual flexibility might be one way it's viewed. Another theory, which is my favorite theory, is that your understanding of the content is going to shift over time. Your brain is developing, your life has gained some new experiences, so your perspective is developing. And so, to cite yourself would, in a sense, be to capture yourself at a more immature stage that you once were and not allow you to grow to your fullest potential or show that growth. And so that is something that you need to consider that is viewed regarding this practice also. So you might say, well, I still plan to. I still want to do this. It is a beloved topic. Um, but I do not want to use all of my written work as new and unique. I do have, the sentence that I want to transfer over, or a few sentences, or a few things that I found that I want to transfer over, and I am going to actually pull writing from my former paper into my new paper. And so this next slide is going to show you how to do it. So within any citation style, I'm going to show you on the next slides MLA and APA, but even if it's Chicago citation style or whatever citation style you're using, you're going to list yourself as the author of the work, and you're going to follow by completing all of the remaining information, such as the title of your article that you had written or your paper, the date that you wrote it. You're going to include all of that information within the citation. Noodle Tools is what our school uses. And so for my students, what you need to do is you need to choose the advanced level within Noodle Tools. So that's where you set up your projects, and that can be changed. If you've already chosen junior or beginner, you can change it to advanced by just going back to projects and just changing the setting. When adding your source, I want you to choose print or in hand. Then you're going to choose unpublished paper or data. And then when you're filling out the cells, you want to choose the choice typescript. So now let's look at how they get formatted, just in case you don't use Noodle Tools or you want to compare against. So MLA formatting, this is what my MLA formatted citation looks like. So I've got my name as the author. My paper that I wrote was called Pennsylvania's Moratorium on the Death Penalty. I wrote it for Palisades High School on the state, and it was a typescript. So that is what my works cited entry looks like. My parenthetical citation would be the end of my sentence with my last name, and I stole it from page 3, I'm imagining. And so page 3 is what I put here, and this is how I would cite um, it parenthetically. Now, finally, if I quoted something within my paper, it's actually smarter for me to go out and just find that source, call that source a source again, and use that source as its own and cite from that source instead of doing an indirect quotation. But let's say I just cannot find that source again. What I can do is I can do an indirect quote, and then I would put it at the end of my sentence, and in MLA, I would put quoted in Hornberger on page 3. So here's APA. APA, this is what it would look like in the reference list. You can pause and compare your entry with mine. This is what it would look like parenthetically if I were to cite in the body of the paper. And then if I needed to do an indirect quote with APA, this is what it would look like, how it would be cited in APA. So finally, good luck. That's really all I need to communicate to you today. Remember, it is so vital to communicate with your instructor. You want to make sure you get the best grade that you can get and also retain your academic integrity. So good luck writing your paper. I hope that you really love and enjoy building your knowledge on the topic that you so love and hold true and dear to your heart. Have a great day.